and 2004 John Deere 8420, with 7,200 hours, just out-earned a brand-new Fendt 942 Vario on a per-acre profit comparison run by a Kansas grain farmer this past season. Before you close this video, that result came with 4 very specific conditions attached, and whether those conditions match your operation is exactly what this breakdown is going to tell you. This is Farm Gear Pro. Today, we are running the real per-acre profit math on a 20-year-old John Deere against a brand-new Fendt. Fuel, depreciation, repair, software, financing. Every line that actually matters. Let's go. Start with what these two machines cost to own before they turn a single wheel in a field. A clean 2004 John Deere 8420 with 7,000 to 8,000 hours is currently trading between $55,000 and $75,000 at auction across the Corn Belt in 2026, depending on condition, hours, and regional buyer demand. 2004 John Deere 8420, 7,000 to 8,000 hours, $55,000 to $75,000 at auction. Corn Belt 2026. A new 2026 Fendt 942 Vario in full specification lists between $480,000 and $520,000, depending on dealer location, precision agriculture package, and cab configuration. That purchase price gap runs between $405,000 and $465,000. And understanding what that gap means on a per-acre basis is the first calculation this comparison requires. On a 3,000-acre operation, that capital difference spread across 5 years of ownership works out to roughly $27,000 to $31,000 per year in additional debt service at current agricultural lending rates of 7.5 to 8.5%. $405,000 to $465,000 purchase gap. $27,000 to $31,000 additional annual debt service at current rates. That annual debt service difference translates directly to per-acre cost. On 3,000 acres, the new Fendt carries $9 to $10 more per acre in annual capital cost before it touches the soil. $9 to $10 per acre in additional annual capital cost is not a small number in the current commodity environment. With corn trading around $4.20 to $4.50 per bushel in mid-2026 and average Corn Belt yields running 180 to 195 bushels per acre, the margin per acre that separates a profitable year from a break-even year is thinner than it has been in years. Corn, $4.20 to $4.50 per bushel mid-2026. Corn Belt average, yield 180 to 195 bushels per acre. Thin margins. That commodity reality is exactly why this comparison matters right now, and why more farmers are running this math than at any point in the last decade. Now the fuel cost comparison, and this is where the brand new Fendt starts clawing back the capital cost disadvantage. The 2004 John Deere 8420 runs a Tier 2 emissions engine without DEF injection, diesel particulate filter regeneration cycles, or exhaust gas recirculation. 2004 John Deere 8420. Tier 2 engine, no DEF, no DPF regen, no EGR, simpler fuel delivery system. That simpler fuel architecture means no parasitic emissions load on the drivetrain, and under moderate to heavy draft conditions, it means the engine is putting more of every gallon directly into ground speed rather than emissions compliance systems. But the 2026 Fendt 942 Vario counters with something the 2004 machine fundamentally cannot match. The Vario CVT transmission holding the engine at optimal torque RPM continuously regardless of ground speed or load variation. Documented field comparisons between CVT architecture and conventional powershift transmissions under sustained draft loads show an 8 to 12% fuel efficiency advantage for the CVT platform. Fendt 942 Vario CVT. 8 to 12% fuel efficiency advantage over powershift. Documented field comparisons. The 2004 8420 runs a powershift transmission, not a CVT, meaning every time load changes, the transmission negotiates between ratios in ways that cost fuel the Fendt transmission avoids entirely. The net fuel comparison between these two specific machines is closer than you might expect. The older machine's simpler emissions architecture partially offsets the newer machine's CVT efficiency advantage. On a 3,000-acre operation running 600 hours per season, the practical per-acre fuel cost difference between these two machines runs somewhere between $1.50 and $3.50 per acre, depending on application mix and field conditions. Net fuel comparison. Closer than expected. $150 to $350 per acre difference, 600 hours per season. That fuel difference favors the Fendt, but it does not come close to covering the $9 to $10 per acre capital cost disadvantage the new machine carries. Before we go further, if Farm Gear Pro is giving you the real per-acre numbers you have been looking for, hit subscribe right now. We run this math every week. Real machines, real commodity prices, real operating costs, no equipment dealer writing the script. Hit like and share this with any operator currently deciding between holding older iron or buying new. Back to it. Now the repair and maintenance comparison. And this is where the 20-year-old machine introduces its most significant financial risk into the per-acre calculation. A 2004 John Deere 8420 at 7,000 to 8,000 hours is not a machine that runs without maintenance investment. Engine seals, hydraulic pumps, steering components, transmission wear items, all of these are at or approaching service life on a machine with this many hours. 2004 John Deere 8420, 7,000 to 8,000 hours. Engine seals, hydraulic pumps, transmission wear, all at service life. A realistic annual maintenance budget on a high-hour 2004 8420 in active production runs $8,000 to $15,000 per year for planned maintenance, plus reasonable contingency for age-related component failures. The catastrophic failure risk is the number that changes everything on an older machine. An engine failure, a major hydraulic event, or a transmission rebuild on a 2004 8420 can land between $18,000 and $35,000 depending on the specific failure. And at this hour, count those events are not hypothetical. They are scheduled into the machine's remaining service life. Catastrophic failure risk. Engine or transmission event. $18,000 to $35,000 at high hours, not if, but when. On a per-acre basis across 3,000 acres, a single $25,000 catastrophic repair event adds $8.33 per acre to the machine's cost in the year it occurs, turning a profitable comparison against the new machine into a deficit overnight. The 2026 Fendt 942 Vario, under factory warranty, carries essentially zero catastrophic repair risk for the first 3 to 5 years of ownership. Scheduled maintenance on a new Fendt under warranty is predictable, documented, and does not carry the age-related uncertainty that a 20-year-old machine introduces into every annual budget. 2026. Fendt under warranty. Zero catastrophic repair risk. Predictable, documented maintenance schedule. Now the software and diagnostic comparison. And this is where the 20-year-old machine delivers its most unexpected operational advantage in 2026. The 2004 John Deere 8420 predates John Deere's dealer-only diagnostic software architecture by more than a decade. Any competent mechanic with a standard diagnostic scan tool and a service manual can diagnose, repair, and return this machine to operation without routing the work through a John Deere dealer at $150 to $185 per hour. 2004 John Deere 8420 predates dealer-only diagnostic architecture. Any competent mechanic can work on it. The Federal Trade Commission sued John Deere in January 2025 under the Sherman Act over the dealer-only diagnostic structure that governs modern machines, a structure the 2004 8420 simply does not carry. A $99 million class action settlement in April 2026 committed John Deere to expanded diagnostic access by end of 2026. But the 2026 Fendt 942 Vario runs AGCO's diagnostic architecture, which was built around the EU's binding 2024 Right to Repair Directive before that directive became legally compulsory. Both the 2026 Fendt and the 2004 John Deere allow independent repair access, the 2004 Deere because it predates the lockout, the 2026 Fendt because its architecture was designed around open access from the beginning. Then for John Deere, independent access because it predates the lockout. Fendt 2026, independent access by design. The 2026 John Deere machine is the one carrying the diagnostic restriction that neither of these two comparison machines actually has. Now the precision agriculture comparison, because this is the category where the 20-year gap between these machines creates the most obvious operational difference. In 2004, John Deere 8420 left the factory without GPS guidance, without section control, and without any telematics capability. It is a mechanically capable tractor running on operator skill and experience without digital assistance. 2004, John Deere 8420, no factory GPS, no section control, no telematics, runs on operator skill. A 2026 Fendt 942, Vario runs Variotronic TMS headland management, full RTK guidance integration, Vario doc field documentation, and AGCO's precision agriculture data platform as standard or near standard across the specification. The operational difference between these two precision ag levels is real, and it shows up in input efficiency on every pass across the field. RTK guidance on the Fendt eliminates overlap and skips in planting and spraying passes. Documented input savings from precision guidance typically run $8 to $14 per acre on chemical and seed costs across a full production season compared to non-guided operation. RTK guidance. Documented input savings $8 to $14 per acre. Chemical and seed costs. Full production season. Those precision agriculture savings are the single most powerful financial argument for the brand new Fendt in this entire comparison, and they are real, documented, and replicable across any operation committed to using the technology properly. An aftermarket GPS guidance system from Trimble or Ag Leader can be retrofitted onto a 2004 John Deere 8420 for $8,000 to $12,000, delivering RTK sub-inch accuracy comparable to factory guidance at a fraction of the new machine's cost. Section control for boom spraying and variable rate capability can be added through compatible aftermarket controllers, recovering most of the precision agriculture input savings the new Fendt delivers at factory specification. Trimble or AG Leader retrofit, $8,000 to $12,000. RTK accuracy, section control, recovers most precision ag savings. The gap between factory precision agriculture on the new Fendt and a properly retrofitted 2004 John Deere narrows dramatically once the retrofit investment is made, changing the per-acre input savings comparison from a landslide to a close contest. Now the depreciation line. And this is the number that ultimately determines which machine makes more money per acre when the 5-year model runs to completion. A 2026 Fendt 942 Vario, purchased at $500,000 in 2026, will likely trade in the $340,000 to $370,000 range at 5 years and moderate working hours, representing $130,000 to $160,000 in depreciation across the ownership cycle. 2026 Fendt 942 Vario. $500,000 purchase, $340,000 to $370,000 at 5 years, $130,000 to $160,000 depreciation. A 2004 John Deere 8420, purchased at $65,000 in 2026, will trade in the $35,000 to $50,000 range at 5 years with additional hours, representing $15,000 to $30,000 in depreciation across the same period. That depreciation gap runs $100,000 to $130,000 in favor of the older machine across 5 years, and on a 3,000-acre operation, that is $6.67 to $8.67 per acre in effective annual cost difference. Stack that against the capital cost, the fuel difference, the precision agriculture input savings, and the repair risk, and the per-acre profit picture becomes specific to each operation's individual variables. Depreciation gap, $100,000 to $130,000 over 5 years, $6.67 to $8.67 per acre annual difference, $3,000 acres. Now let's put the complete per-acre model together, because this is what the Kansas farmer actually ran before reaching his conclusion. Annual capital cost advantage for the 2004 machine, $9 to $10 per acre. Annual fuel advantage for the 2026 Fendt, $150 to $350 per acre. Annual precision agriculture input savings from the 2026 Fendt, $8 to $14 per acre with factory guidance versus non-guided operation, narrowing to $1 to $3 per acre once the 2004 machine is properly retrofitted. Annual depreciation advantage for the 2004 machine, $6.67 to $8.67 per acre. Annual catastrophic repair risk on the 2004 machine, $0 to $8.33 per acre, depending on whether a major event occurs. Complete per acre model, capital, fuel, precision AG, depreciation, repair risk. 5 lines. 1 answer. In a year without a major repair event on the older machine, the 2004 John Deere 8420 with a retrofitted guidance system out-earns the 2026 Fendt 942 Vario by $12 to $18 per acre on a properly run 3,000-acre operation. In a year where the older machine hits a major mechanical event, engine, transmission, or major hydraulic failure, the 2026 Fendt out-earns it by $6 to $10 per acre, depending on the specific repair cost. That is the honest answer to the title question. And it is the answer the Kansas farmer arrived at after running every line himself. Honest answer: no major repair event. 2004. Machine wins, major repair event, 2026. Fendt wins, depends on risk. The decision between these two machines is not a spec sheet comparison. It is a risk management decision about whether you are comfortable carrying the catastrophic repair exposure that a 20-year-old high-hour machine introduces into your annual budget. If your operation has the cash reserves to absorb a $25,000 repair event without a credit call to the bank, the 2004 machine is the higher per-acre profit choice in most years. If a $25,000 unexpected repair event in October of a thin-margin year would create a genuine cash flow crisis for your operation, the new Fendt's warranty coverage and predictable maintenance schedule is worth the capital premium. Cash reserves to absorb $25,000 event. 2004. Machine wins per acre. No cash reserves. New Fendt worth the premium. A. Farm Gear Pro is going to keep running these per-acre profit models every week, because the equipment decision that looks right on a spec sheet and the one that makes the most money per acre are not always the same machine. Thanks for watching Farm Gear Pro. If you found this breakdown valuable, share it with a fellow farmer and comment below your thoughts on this topic. See you in the next one.